Hello, I'm Richard Ridge for BroadwayWorld. Tony and Emmy Award winner Kristen Chenoweth is back on Broadway, starring with Peter Gallagher in Roundabout Theatre Company's new production of the Cy Coleman, Betty Comden, and Adolph Green musical, On the 20th Century. And we're here on opening night to celebrate with the company. It's opening night. Look at you. How do you feel?
We're back together again.
Back together again.
No, it's like I see you every couple of months, and this is fantastic. I'm had a great time, and I'm very lucky to be in this show. And every night is like an adventure of comedy and madcapness, if that's a word.
Your comic timing is impeccable in this. Tell me what it's been like working on this with Scott Ellis and Warren Carlyle.
Because I know how good those guys are. We worked together in Drood and in the past, and I knew I needed to bring the timing, and I needed to bring as much as I could, and be sort of open-minded to whatever they needed. And Scott and I would talk about what kind of bits we'd be doing, and he'd craft something, and I'd be like, oh, but what if I did this, and fell on my face?
But it must be so much easier when you worked with Scott and Warren before on Drood.
Yeah, I mean, the two of them I trust so much, and I think they trust me, because the week that Rocky got their closing notice was Scott called me like the week after and said, "Would you like to do the show?" And I was like, "This is fantastic. I'm really living the dream." I had no time to like be sad about something closing, but something was opening. I've had a great year, and this is just a total different show than what I was in before. It's fun. I'm having so much fun with Kristen and with Peter, with the entire cast. I share a dressing room with Mark Lynn Baker and Michael McGrath, and we just crack jokes all night.
What has this whole journey been like for you? I spoke to you very early on when you just started rehearsal.
Right.
This is such a beautifully written musical. What has it been like working on it for you?
It sounds so cliche, but it's been a dream, really, because first of all, everybody involved is a wonderful person as well as talented. All open and fun. Kristen and Peter, everybody laughing all the time, all through rehearsals. And Scott Ellis is so laid back, and he knows exactly what he wants, but he just creates this atmosphere that makes you want to do the best you can, and Todd, the whole group has just been great.
You are such a hoot to watch play this character. What do you love about her?
Oh, what's not to love, She's got all this money, she says. We don't know, but she's a game gal. Yeah.
I like that.
And she loves Broadway.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You're on a track beat in this show. You're running, you're dashing, you're on the trains. What's that all like for you, the musical staging end?
My dresser leads me around because I don't know where the hell I'm going next, or if a thing is coming down, So I always get there on time. I make all my entrances.
And singing these show-stopping, Betty Comden, Adolph Green, and Cy Coleman numbers.
It's the dream of my life. I've wanted to be a clown all my career. I finally got it. So.
When you took your bow tonight, do you remember what you were thinking?
I was thinking, my God, I'm smiling.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Opening night, how do you feel?
I feel great. Opening night on Broadway, it's always amazing. I never get tired of it.
What was today like for you?
Today started taking the dogs out for a walk, and then getting ready and getting my act together and coming here. And it's always sort of nerve-wracking and exciting, and coming in the front door, and you see the people outside, and it's really, really a lot of fun. Yeah, it's a great. Then you go up to your dressing room and then there's gifts everywhere. It's like Christmas morning in the theater, and the cards, and it's a lot of love and a lot of fun. Yeah.
You share a dressing room, right?
Yes, with Mark Lynn Baker and Andy Carl.
What is that like? That's a reality show.
Oh, it's a funny dressing room. Yeah, it's a funny dressing room. We have a blast. Almost every day we invent a new character. Someone invents a new character.
Tell me what you love about this show and working with Scott Ellis and Warren Carlyle.
Well, I fell in love with this show actually about 30 years ago. I did it in stock, and I was actually a tap dancing porter in those days. The legs have left me now, but so I love this show, and I've loved the score, and I love how smart and how funny it is. And working with Scott, he's an actor's director. He really lets you play and is very supportive of you playing in rehearsal and picking stuff out that's not right and really supporting the stuff that is right. So working with Scott is really good.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Your opening night.
Yes.
Has this whole Experience so far been surreal for you? Tell me.
It's been pretty surreal. I've been through, this is my 7th Broadway show, and this is definitely the first time where through the preview period I've sort of played 2 characters almost equally. So it's been a crazy experience, but it's been a great experience. And fortunately, the Roundabout staff and everybody in the cast and crew has been so supportive and great, and just happy to have Peter back at full strength now, and to be out there doing the show for everybody to come see.
What's it been like going on for Oscar, and when you got that call the first time, what went through your mind?
Well, it was kind of crazy because usually you don't really get to understudy rehearsal until like the end of the rehearsal process or after we open. And this was a situation where, because a really bad bug went through the cast, you had to jump on in the middle of it. And so I basically was rehearsing for a paying Broadway audience. The first couple shows were pretty surreal and definitely was sort of in my head a lot. But then as it went on, it ended up, feeling great, and I had a great time getting a chance to do it because it's such a great role. I mean, it's one of the monster roles in the musical theater canon, so I feel really honored and privileged to get a chance to do it.
What do you remember about the first night you went on as Oscar?
Not much, other than did I hit my mark? Did I say my lines? Did I sing the right lyrics? That was pretty much it. But the one thing was the Roundabout and the cast could not have been more supportive. Kristen was unbelievable, and it made me feel so comfortable to have so many people supporting me and getting a chance to sort of come in and try to save the day.
And working with your fellow cast members, you share a dressing room with 2 other gentlemen. Who are those gentlemen?
That's right, Andy Carl and Michael McGrath. We do a lot of laughing in there.
What is that room like?
It's a good room. It's a good room.
Talk about the role that you play and what you love about it.
Well, what I love about this is the piece. I was saying it's the music. Cy Coleman, the book Comden and Green is from a movie, 20th Century, with John Barrymore, Carol Lombard, from a play. This is steeped in American theater and American musical tradition. The material is very rich. The story is wonderful. It's funny, and it's just a pleasure to perform.
Working with your director again, Scott Ellis.
Scott Ellis, my favorite director. Yes.
The same season?
Yes. Yeah. Had a year of wonderful work with him. I love working with him, and he keeps turning out some wonderful shows.
Isn't that crazy though, to have gone from one hit show with You Can't Take It With You into this?
It's nice. I like how that happens. That works for me.
Yeah. So welcome back to Broadway. How does it feel?
Feels like $1 million. So great to play a great role like Oscar Jaffe, and also really great to be sharing the stage with Kristen Chenoweth and everyone else in our company. And I can say what's true for Kristen is true for the rest of the company. They're all beautiful people that you love seeing on stage and off stage just as much. And I couldn't be luckier, really.
You and I spoke very early during the rehearsal process. A lot has happened since then. You got a throat infection or something during?
Yeah, I had what I thought was a cold at the tail end of the tech through the first 10 days of previews, but it turned out it wasn't a cold. It was a sinus infection that landed on my vocal cords and got them really messed up and just shut me down, which is...
What happens? Everyone's human. You're human.
And I'm such an idiot because I've done a couple thousand performances easy on Broadway, and I think I've missed more in the last 2 weeks than I have in 38 years, but the first time I missed a few, there was a noise, maybe not the first, but was a noise is off, and I said to my understudy, or I said to somebody, I've done over 2,000 performances, never missed one. And the next week I was out.
So how did it feel to be back tonight?
Great. I just, I have to shut up after the show and not talk all day, and I'm learning a lot from Kristen because she's an opera singer, and this is what opera singers do, and it's really it's different. But thank God for my voice teacher that I've been studying with the last 20 some odd years, because I never would have been able to sing this kind of music without her, and I'm really glad I've been singing all along.
My final question is, when you took your bow tonight, do you remember what you were thinking?
I was thinking, holy shit, we did it. We got through it.
You love this role of Lily Garland, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, it's celebrate. I'm able to do all the things I can do, and I love her, most importantly. But I also love the show. I think the Porters, I told them they were all going to be murdered for stealing the show, that I hope they enjoyed their lives as they know it. Peter Gallagher is Oscar Jaffe. ML, come on. She is a nut. She's perfect. And the two knuckleheads, Michael and Mark Lynn. And of course, then there's Andy, who has names for his biceps. I don't know. I'm with my own kind. What can I tell you?
Totally. And working with the cat, you love this cast.
I do have to say, I always love I do love the cast, but always. I just do. Each time I'm blown away, though, how much love comes, especially on nights like this. We work so hard. Good, bad, or ugly, it's out there. And now we can just...
It's yours now.
It's ours. And hopefully, audiences...
The audiences love this. Yeah.
They love it.
Working with Scott and Warren.
I mean, Scott makes me better. Warren pushed me to a place I didn't think I could do. They both make me better. And they make us all better.
My final question is, when you took your bow tonight, do you remember what you were thinking?
I was thinking that I hoped that Cy Coleman and Betty and Adolph were pleased. Honestly, that's what I was thinking.
They're looking down on you.
Yeah, I hope they were just clapping.